Hello and welcome to The Gist. I'm your host, Chris Vetrano, here every week to break down all the things happening in pop culture. So, of course, this week we've got to talk about the 95th Annual Academy Awards and all the fashion that hit the red carpet. But I couldn't do that alone because I am no fashion expert, so I brought in reinforcements. She's one of my closest friends, but you know her best from her 3 seasons on Project Runway. That's right, she was a fan favorite. Please welcome to The Gist my friend, stylist to the stars, and fashion designer, Amanda Valentine.
Hello. I was on 3 times because I couldn't win, and they felt bad for me. And they were like,
okay, well, you almost won.
I know, yeah, but I didn't. Anyway, that's my truth.
Well, you did get voted back as a fan favorite, so that is true information.
That is true. That is true.
Yes, because you were wonderful TV.
I know. It's still a trip that even happened. But thank you for saying that. It was a hoot. It was an absolute hoot.
Yeah. Yes. Well, it was always very fun when we had our watch parties and I got to see it play out, even though I knew some of the outcomes. I was always rooting for you, and it was amazing having you by my side. Well, awesome. So I know this last weekend was the Oscars, and of course the main reason people tune into the Oscars is fashion. And so I wanted to hear your takes on all the fashion highlights and lowlights of Sunday's broadcast. So who was impressing Amanda Valentine?
Okay, first and foremost, I just have to say overall, and this is the BAFTAs, the SAG Awards, all of that's happening. My toddler's screaming in the background. That's real life. What I really appreciate about where we're at right now is that men are finally having some fun. Yeah. When I was in college, sure, this was 20 years ago, learning, fashion design, we didn't even touch men's clothes. We didn't learn anything about designing for men because there was nothing to design. That was a tailor's job. They only wore suits, whatever. And now it's just an exciting time. And I was trying to find Eddie Redmayne. Was he there last night? Because the big news is that he just got... for this award season, he just hired Harry Styles' stylist. Oh. This guy named Harry Lambert, who I love. He's a great follow on Instagram. The Harrys. So he just hired him, and sure enough, Harry Lambert put Eddie Redmayne in a jumpsuit. I think it was a jumpsuit for the BAFTAs and a blouse for the SAG Awards. So it's kind of, I think that's exciting. I don't know. Yeah. I'm thrilled that, and especially straight men, I don't know. Sometimes I'm are straight men appropriating queer culture a little bit?
Right.
Is that okay? I kind of have some, as a straight woman, I don't want to comment on that too much because it's not my place, but I don't know. So sometimes I'm kind of is this good? Is this appropriation?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I think it's the Harry Styles of it all. Sometimes I think he sort of does other things that sort of seem a bit queer baiting, but I don't think that he's doing it in his fashion. I think the fact that he can wear a purse or a dress and make it high fashion as a male or as a straight man is actually making it more acceptable for queer people to be themselves. And that's my take on it. But but what do I know about fashion? I actually love when Harry Styles pushes that envelope. So I am very curious. I didn't see Eddie Redmayne though.
I don't think he was there. I was actually really excited just based on what he had worn to other shows. Oh my gosh, what's he going to do? And and there are guys that are still keeping it classic, like Austin Butler. I keep waiting for him to kind of do something maybe a little flashier. But I also respect his choice. His suit, even though it was a classic tuxedo double-breasted, it still was a little flamboyant. The lapels were really big. Mm-hmm. The textures were really strong. And he does a nice balance of playing with velvets and satins and sheers, in still kind of traditional shapes, but he's at least having some more fun with fabric, which I really appreciate. Okay, so the big fun trend I saw that I really liked was it was pastels on acid. And even the whites were ultra white.
That's
It
what I
wasn't,
really liked.
loved it.
I felt like there was some really standout, like white dresses. And like, I mean, Emily Blunt was one of my favorite dressed of the
So
night.
gorgeous.
I thought she just looked
Beautiful.
so classically beautiful. And, you know, I thought that was like also just sort of in general, like I kept trying to like find somebody that was like wearing something that felt really like wacky or something that we could like, oh, we're going to talk about this. So I got to like think
I
about
don't know.
who. And I felt like a lot of people like kind of went to like glamour and there was a lot of just like beautiful looks last night.
Yeah, it was almost like we're finally let out of our cages again and nobody wants to mess it up.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, okay, we're going to play nice. We're not going to, don't make us go back in our homes. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to respect this. There was one guy who I love. I have to look at my notes. What's his name? Guillermo. Well, he's Guillermo on What We Do in the Shadows, you know? Harvey Guillen.
Oh, I don't know
He had
him.
finger waves. He had a long coat with the ruffles.
Yeah.
And it's a Christian Siriano. And even that was kind of as wacky as I saw. And it still totally worked for me.
Yeah.
Like, and again, there's another example of a man wearing finger waves in his hair. I was like, that looks gorgeous. Like, it was just so exciting. I was kind of paying attention to the men more, maybe because I used to style men.
Yeah, exactly.
But, anyway, that was really exciting. But back to the pastels on acid. I loved, my favorite dress of the night was probably Hong Chow, and I hope I'm saying that right, who was in The Whale. She was wearing custom Prada, light pink, mandarin collar, and this extravagant, long sequined black train. Mm-hmm. It was perfect. It was the perfect length. It was steamed perfectly. Those are like little things that make me crazy when a dress isn't hemmed the right length. It just sat perfectly. If, you know, like that's the stylist job. Like, who was it that tripped on the stage? Like,
back in the day, Jennifer Lawrence.
No. Well, yeah, but last night, except presenting with Cocaine Bear.
Oh, listen, Elizabeth Banks.
Thank you. I have new mom brain.
I thought that dress was horrible, by the way.
Well, and she tripped on it. And I get that these are ball gowns and they're extravagant and but like, she got to walk across the stage. Like, come on.
Yeah, needed to think that one through a little bit more.
Yeah, just a little bit more. So that was one of my favorites. And then there was the girl from, and look, I have to find her name. This is horrible. What is her name? The girl from Top Gun.
Oh, not Jennifer Connelly.
No, but she had a color block dress, the young actress. This is horrible. Anyway, she looked really great too. There were a lot of sparkles, which I'm just not a super sparkle girl. I'm a color girl, but, you know, some of the lighter sparkles, I think kind of wash people out a little bit.
Well, yeah. What did you think? Well, I guess first of all, before I ask on her is what did you think about this change from the red carpet to the champagne carpet? Because I had thoughts.
I actually like it. I like it because, anyway, it's hard to not call it the red carpet still.
I know.
I like it because I thought the red drapes on the walls and ceilings were gorgeous.
Yeah.
And so I like that. I think white drapes on the wall end up looking a little like hotel convention. So the red does look better on the wall. But like, did they not think that was just going to be a logistical nightmare? How is that not going to be dirty instantly?
That's what I thought, because I saw like some I kept getting like the like dated finished basement vibes. Like it was like really old carpeting that was like that tan color that had stains on it. Like I kept seeing that and I kept thinking like, wow, they really like didn't think this one through, or it like looked almost amateur. It didn't feel, everyone was wearing glamour, but then it didn't go well.
I get that.
And I think that really played against who I was going to bring up. Is I want to know your thoughts on Ana de Armas and her dress.
Yeah. One of the most beautiful women in the world, right?
Totally.
That kind of sparkle worked on Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yes.
It had a little bit of a tone to it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was as striking as I wanted from her. She's just, I mean, if you played Marilyn Monroe, like I just want, And another trend I saw last night was really effortless hair and makeup, which oh my God, a bird just hit the window.
Oh my gosh. That was so
Sorry.
loud.
The bird literally just hit the window.
Oh, wow.
Listen,
Okay.
we're going live. We're doing this live. Okay. So feathers on my window.
Oh my gosh. The bird hated Anna de Armas's look too.
I know, was like committed suicide after talking about that look. Oh my God.
Oh, as one would. I mean, I felt like, especially we were just talking about the white. It's like Marilyn Monroe is like so famous for her white dress moment. It's like, I almost think she should have played up that or like done something in honor of that iconic role that she's playing. And instead I felt like she looked really washed out.
Yeah.
And I felt like the pictures, because the carpet was this like off-white, like almost looked concrete in some ways. And then this dress that had like no depth or color. And then it was like her skin was just totally washed out. And again, you talk about how beautiful she was. And I was like, I'm not seeing that here.
You want this like striking, and I do like that a lot of people had, this very effortless hair and makeup. I thought that was kind of fun, but like her effortless hair and makeup with the dress, it was kind of like, okay. I mean, it felt more like a SAG Awards or it didn't feel Oscars.
Yeah.
But that same color on Zoe Saldana
would be
gorgeous. And she had super simple hair, and it was a lace dress. It could have looked like a nightie, but that was one of my favorites. I thought it was gorgeous. But it's like right person, right cut, right, it just all depends.
Yeah. What did you were talking about sparkle, and I thought of Nicole Kidman's dress because it was like a black sparkle. What was your thought on that?
She never really misses. I mean,
because people are tearing it up online. They are naming her one of the worst of the night.
No.
Yeah, and I'm like, I thought it was great.
I think it's exactly what I want to see an established Hollywood actress in her 50s wear. It's like completely dead on.
Yeah, and I thought with her and Keith, I thought they looked very glamorous. They looked like Hollywood. It felt like Oscars to me. So I was surprised when I saw her like even listed on like some of the worst dress lists. I was like, this is surprising.
Now, do they always need to have the intimate making out moment?
I know. Yeah, I know. I feel like that's like a trend we need to get off. Like, I'm tired of everyone having to like kiss on the red carpet. It's like, we get
you guys are in a relationship. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Calm down.
You talked about men. One that I thought was the best, from my opinion, Pedro Pascal.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I mean, I love him in general, but I thought I really liked the collarless look, and he didn't have a tie, which I think is always like, people view that as kind of controversial on a red carpet with like no tie when you're going to the Oscars. But I thought that he did it in a way that like looked super high fashion.
I agree. He's killing it right now. I'm obsessed with people's obsession with him. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I just think it's lovely because he just seems like a wonderful guy. He's kind of a untraditional hunk and heartthrob, which I'm super into. Anytime we get just somebody different, Yeah. And I thought he looked perfect last night. It was perfectly appropriate for him and where he's kind of starting to push himself fashion-wise without going too far, which was nice.
I mean, and that's, you were talking about pushing the envelope and stuff, and he's someone that I think is starting to do that as well. And like, he's willing to go there. And that's always what I feel like, as you talked about earlier, is like, even as a man, it was like, it's always so boring to dress for certain events. Cause I'm like, I don't want to wear a suit, or I don't want to wear just like a regular, traditional suit. I want something that's like gonna show personality. Okay.
Speaking of just a suit, can I bitch about somebody for a minute?
Yes, please.
Hugh Grant.
Oh gosh,
broke my heart last night because
what was he
Ashley
thinking?
Graham doing her job, asking him these stupid questions. You're on a red carpet. You've done this for a million years, and he was just like, I don't know. I'm wearing a suit. Like, yeah, okay. The too cool thing doesn't work for me anymore. I don't know if I'm, and it. I don't know. He just.
Well, don't go.
Don't go.
And
Don't go.
you
You're a
set those things
presenter.
up ahead of time too. So like he could just not walk the carpet,
And also,
right?
like,
If he's gonna be interviewed and he's choosing to walk the carpet and go through interviews, he knows that those are the questions that he's gonna get.
You don't have to do it. You get to choose. Like, you're Hugh Grant. You don't have to be there. That just really got under my skin because I think Ashley Graham is just a doll and a delight. And she was doing her job and he was giving her nothing and she stayed poised and she kept it together. And she
should have won Best Actress of the night.
She what?
Yeah, she should have won Best Actress.
Oh my God. She definitely, showed her acting chops pretending she didn't want to drop kick him.
The other, you were talking about some of the color, and I thought of Angela Bassett.
Oh, yeah.
Thoughts on that purple dress?
She's really good at that. She's really good. Like, is it like the most revolutionary dress in the world? No. I loved her hair and makeup. It was like, again, effortless, natural-ish, but stepped up enough. But she's always really good at picking a really bold color so that you notice her, but the dress doesn't wear her. She always wears the dress. So it's like I always notice her first, which is, a very confident choice. Not everybody can do that, but she can.
And I noticed a lot with this award season, she was doing a lot of bold colors. So like, I think she wore like an orange dress and she's doing this like really bright thing that makes her kind of pop on the carpet. And
it's smart.
Yeah. And I thought she looked great. She's one that I remember because I think of the color. And, there's like all these people that wore white or a lot of people that just wear black. And then it's like another black dress or another white dress.
Nobody else had that color on.
Exactly.
Right.
What did you think of Gaga? And of course she performed in jeans and a t-shirt. So not that look, but but what about her?
I don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, I've just never been a Gaga person.
I mean, fair.
I'm just not. Listen, you just need to know this about me. So, and people can come for me. It's totally fine because I know people adore her, but it's real theater kid energy.
Yeah, well, totally.
And that's just not me. It just doesn't appeal to me. So I thought she did look beautiful. I thought the dress was really cool. I thought her performing in jeans and t-shirt and no makeup is so while I appreciate it, it's like, yeah, but you were just in full glam. Like,
exactly.
It's not like you're just showing up. It's not like you are, Alicia Keys, who's like, I'm going to stop wearing makeup for a while. And I'm like, damn, okay. Even at big award shows, big events.
Yeah.
So I mean, okay, whatever.
I mean, I thought when I saw her on the carpet, I was like, oh, that's really, because we've come a long way from a meat dress on the carpet. Like now she can actually show up and like look really poised. And I thought like glamorous, but then the back of the dress, I didn't see until later that it was like see-through and you see like her full ass cheeks. And, you're
like, there she is.
I was like, that's Gaga. But I guess that is.
I actually, can I be honest? Once I saw the back of the dress,
you liked it more.
Actually made me like it more because I was like, okay. Because it's like when Courtney Love went all Hollywood glam. You're like, oh, that's great. But, where's our old punk rocker? You know what I mean? So I have to say that I at least appreciate.
Yeah. Someone, a friend of mine posted about how she was like, this is the most gorgeous she's looked or something. And then I was like, have you seen the back? And they were like, no. And I was like, oh, okay.
Do you see her?
I'm not going to ruin your fantasy.
Her little bum bum.
Yeah.
Hey, if I had that bum, I would walk around seriously in fishnet all day.
If you've got it, flaunt it.
Why
and
not?
I thought, I did think so. A couple of my worst, we talked about Ana de Armas, but I could not get on board with Halle Berry's look.
Me neither. Me neither.
I think that like, and I've actually like seen people really praising it, and I was like, I'm not getting it. So I was curious where you were going to fall on that, because she's someone that's so beautiful that like literally could probably wear no makeup and jeans and t-shirt and be one of the best dressed. And I just felt like there was something trying too hard or something.
She's fine. It's fine. You know what I mean? Like it was just, I didn't even have her on my list to talk about because I'm just like,
forgettable.
It was fine.
Yeah.
It just kind of, she just is always going to wear some sort of rosette or some floral thing. And, and that's super cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it just didn't stay in my head.
Yeah. I was bored by it. And then Florence Pugh, who I feel like everyone's obsessed with. Okay.
I loved it. Did you hate it?
I knew it. When you said before we did this, you were like, I'm so curious at like what our takes are going to be. And I was like, Amanda's going to love Florence Pugh.
I loved it so much. It was she's young and she can get away with it. And the weird hair with the bang, like I loved it. That's like knowing your age, your style, she still walks around with a septum piercing. Like, yeah, I just thought it was put together really well.
I feel like I was fine with it from the waist up. I just didn't like the like hot pant moment. It didn't feel like Oscars to me. And she's somebody that like could have had a moment. And I felt like she didn't take that moment.
I know. I'm trying to envision it with like a full skirt, but then I don't know if that's her.
Right. Because then it kind of does it
ages it.
It ages it. Like you talked about the septum piercing. It's like, then it doesn't feel like rocker. It doesn't feel maybe authentic to her, but I don't know. I was disappointed by it.
At least the shorts were short and not like the Demi Moore, remember?
Right.
When she wore, where they were like mid-thigh, like a part of every woman's body. Like nobody wants to, like, let me draw attention to the middle of my thigh.
It's probably where her Spanx went to, so she needed something that was going to cover that.
Hey, my Spanx, after 2 children, listen, these Spanx roll up. They fall. Like, I'm wearing Spanx now. Like, you can't even see my waist, but I'm like, well.
Hey, I love it. I love it. I mean, I feel like I wish that I feel like they do maybe make them for men, but I feel like I could use like a Spanx for a man.
Just nice.
Just something to flatten it all out, make it like
kind of helps your posture a little bit.
That I need for sure.
Honestly, I have to wear Spanx to fit into my clothes. Listen, guys, these babies.
You've had 2 kids in a short, like rapid fire way. So like no one is judging.
Yeah.
And you still look great, by the way.
Thank you. We're doing the best we can.
There she is.
She's an angel. She is a Disney princess.
Oh, I love a Disney princess.
She is such a Disney princess.
Speaking of, I loved Halle. Oh gosh, is it? No, it's Haley.
It's Haley
Berry.
No, it's Halle Bailey.
Halle Bailey.
I know it's like the opposite. I seriously had to write. Yeah, it's Halle. Haley. No.
Haley Berry, right?
Is it Haley Bailey? No, it's not.
No,
it's Halle Bailey. It's not Haley. Anyway,
Haley Bailey. I love
those acid pastels, beautiful color. She looked divine.
Yeah,
she looked incredible. Like, who am I missing?
Well, and she looked like a Disney princess. I was like, oh, she's playing that role and that part so well.
But it was like a fun color. It was a little saucy with the sheerness, but it was still at the end of the day a ball gown, which is like
loved it. Yeah.
That's great.
Who else was on your list?
Who else is on my list? Oh, I really liked the Versace. I'm kind of surprised I like it. The Versace on Ariana DeBose. I actually really liked it.
Yeah,
it was white. It was. I don't know. I'm surprised I liked it, but it was very similar to what Eva Longoria was wearing, which was okay. But I thought Ariana's was, I don't know, white crystals and the neckline, and she can get away with more mature styles. I don't know how, but she can. She pulls it off.
And see, that's maybe what you say mature, and I was like feeling like I wanted her to be a little more young.
Right. I don't know. Yeah. For some reason that dress, and again, I might take that back, and I am surprised that anyway, listen.
No, I mean, so I remember it.
Right.
And I remember thinking that like, I thought that she kind of looked more matronly than she is.
She always kind of does. She always kind of does this like matronly thing. So maybe I'm just like, oh, she's doing the same thing.
What she does.
Oh, here's a fun little trend I noticed. So like all the directors and the DPs and the editors and the producers dark circle glasses. I saw them on so many people last night. It was,
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder
smaller than this, like the real true circle.
Yeah.
I saw that a lot, which I thought was really interesting. Yeah, the low maintenance hair and makeup I really liked. Those are the things that really stood out to me.
I did make a note of Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Oh, yeah.
Did you like that? Because
I thought it was fine. Did she come out with Paul Dano?
Yes.
Okay.
To do costume design. And so it was like a fashion category. And I was like, oh, well. And she even made a joke about like they picked the most fashion forward female in Hollywood to do this. And I was like, well, that dress is looks like you got it off the. I mean, it looks like she got it off the rack at Dillard's.
I mean, the thing is, it's like, there are just some people who it's just kind of the last thing they're concerned about. And
yeah,
I kind of respect that. I loved what Paul Dano was wearing, though. He had a suit with just like perfectly placed crystals. I thought was gorgeous.
You're right. There is a lot more risks happening with men. I think that's great.
Well, and what's his name? Listen, I'm almost 42 years old. Am I supposed to know every name of every the other hot kid? What's his name? Paul.
Oh,
is it Mezcal?
Paul, is it?
Or do I just love tequila?
I feel like it's Mezcal.
Is it Mezcal?
But it's not a Z. It's like Mezcal, I think. I don't know.
Mezcal.
Yeah, he's another one that's been doing a lot of risks.
So I really liked his slightly flared but like full leg trousers. I thought was awesome.
Yeah,
I loved it.
Yeah,
that's another. I'm so glad we're not squeezing men into just those tight. I mean, I used to do it. Listen, I used to put my clients in just these tight suit pants. Like we would just squeeze their like. Oh, I'm so glad we're not doing that anymore. Yeah. It took a lot of work.
Yeah, for sure. Did I guess did we already talk about Mindy Kaling? Because I can't remember if. What were your thoughts?
So, listen, you can't talk about Mindy Kaling without talking about Ozempic. I know the big word on the street is everyone's like, who's on Ozempic? Who's on Ozempic?
Is that how she lost the 40 pounds?
She's so thin now, which I hate commenting on women's weight. So I'm going to just stop. That's not my business. She looks beautiful. White looks insane on her. I don't, but again, it's just one of those that I was like, okay.
See, when I first saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, she looks incredible.
She looks incredible.
And so I thought like I was like, this is going to be one of the best dressed. And then she's another one that's like on a lot of the worst dressed. Well, and I think that it's because I saw her and I was like, she looks great. She's lost all this weight. She was like showing it off, how much weight she had lost and stuff. So I was like, maybe I was just sort of blinded by that. And it's not that great of a look.
Yeah, because she really looks beautiful. So yeah, I think, but the dress itself, I'm like,
yeah.
But white looks great on her.
Well, it was also one of the first dresses that I saw come out on the carpet that was white. And then I started seeing that was like a trend, that there was like a lot of white. And so if I was like, putting them all in a lineup, it would not be my favorite.
Right. I just thought of like the idea of wearing white. It brings fear to my heart of like wearing a white dress, like stains. Anyway, I just thought about myself in an all white crisp dress and how terrifying that sounds. Anyway, I just had a little moment. I had an out of body moment.
You were like thinking about like as we've talked about, you're a mother of two. So of course you're thinking about messes. And
I just looked down at my pants and saw like, what is that? Is that applesauce? Is that spit up? Is that?
It could be anything.
We'll never know.
We'll never know. Well, any other notes on Oscars? Because I also want to get your take on some of our Bravo verse.
I just have to say, Michael B. Jordan always looks amazing.
Oh, well, yeah.
I thought John Travolta looked amazing. My heart, something about John Travolta, there's a special place in my heart. He got really choked up about Olivia Newton-John. He's been trapped in Scientology for 30 years. Something about him, I'm just like, I want to.
You want to save him.
I want to save him. That's all. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, no, I get that. Well, cool. So switching gears, because I know that you, like me, are a Housewives fanatic, and so I figured this was the right time to just like deep dive. Now, you and I have talked Housewives for years and years, but specifically want to get your kind of fashion take, because, you know, even since like you've moved away from Nashville, like we've got some new cities, we've got Salt Lake City, we've got some things where I don't know your thoughts about these women and the way in which they are portraying themselves on television. So give me kind of like, who is your like go-to when you think about style in the Housewives sort of franchises that like comes to mind right away?
This might shock you. So I've been slowly trying to get into the franchises that I haven't gotten into yet. So first on my list, because they had such an exciting season, was Miami. I watched it back in the day, so I had to get caught up on everything that's happening. It delivered. It was an extraordinary season. And I am officially, obviously obsessed with Marsal, right? Is that her name?
Marisol.
God, sorry. Again, I have no brain cells. I have a tiny infant baby. I sleep 2 hours a night. So, Marisol,
You're saying that she's the best dressed? No. Style?
I just have to say that she brings me so much joy.
Oh, okay.
And that's all. I need to move on.
Okay. Oh, perfect. I was worried about where we were headed.
Because she just makes me so happy.
Yeah.
I am obsessed with, I hope I get this. See, this is names in me. Alexia.
Uh-huh.
Right?
You're obsessed with her fashion?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
With her plastic surgery. I'm obsessed with her hair. I don't know what it is. I'm under her spell, and I don't know what's going on. I'm completely under her spell.
She is not who I would have thought you were, like, from a fashion perspective.
Listen, the heart wants what the heart wants. And for some reason,
I just saw like this from the reunion this week when Andy was having them all or the couple of them stand up to look at the dress, and then it like went to Alexia, and she's like, "Oh, I'll stand up too. Do you want to see the back of my dress?" And I was like, "That dress like is nothing special. Like, sit down."
Maybe it's just I just appreciate her. She's like such an alpha female that I know I would follow her around like Marisol does, like a little puppy.
She's kind of, she gets a lot of comparisons as like that she's the Miami Teresa.
Yeah. Yeah, which actually, and I don't really like Teresa, so that surprises me.
And I think that she kind of is, so.
She kind of is. Oh, dang it. You're ruining her for me. I think Gertie is a supermodel. I think she probably has the best style out of everybody. I think she has the most fun. She looks like a supermodel. So it's, throw anything on her and, she's the perfect clothes hanger. But she probably has the best, but I don't know. I just think I'm in love with Alexia. I told Trent, my children's father, my partner, I was like, I think I want to age like her. I think I just want to go like full platinum blonde hair. I just think I want to just go for it.
In Miami, you can't talk about the Miami women without plastic surgery. So like, it's like on a scale, it's, Alexia probably looks the least like an alien. Except for the new girls. She
still looks like a mega alien to me, but I'm in a look,
the new, like Gertie still looks amazing. And I also think that Dr. Nicole is like one of the prettiest housewives that we've ever had.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It kind of bores me.
Well, I thought that at the like she definitely looks too filled at the
It's too,
reunion.
it's too
Her
full.
cheeks are like way too big. And so I was like, no, because I just think she's like when she's kind of in a natural look on
Yeah,
the show,
yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is like a beautiful woman.
Some people
Um,
can handle a lot of makeup and a lot of filler and whatever, and some people just look better natural.
natural.
I haven't had Botox in almost 3 years, and I have learned I look better with it. So listen,
That,
know your strengths.
that's not even true though.
I'm ready to get done being a milkmaid and
And then you're just headed to Miami.
gonna just get the full mommy makeover.
Yeah. What about like so if you had to pick style like best style by city, would it be Miami or is there another one where you're like
Um,
they bring it?
for me personally, it would be Atlanta.
Yeah, absolutely. I
I
mean,
just
Marlo Hampton is
Marlo is. I mean, yeah, maybe not like Drew, but
yeah.
and even like I think Phaedra. I know she's no longer. She will always be a housewife, but I guess she's on Married with. Now I'm gonna have to start watching Married to Medicine because.
Wait, do you not watch Married to Medicine?
No, I know. So I got Miami down. Now I need to do. I tried to watch Dubai and I wasn't into it. I really want to get. I want to do all the way from the beginning Potomac, and then Married to Medicine. Listen, I've got a plan.
Okay, good. I mean, yes, Potomac is amazing. So,
Yeah.
and I actually thought you were gonna say Candace. For some reason, I felt like you were
Oh, I
gonna
do
have
think
some.
she's really cute, and I don't even. I know I need to get on Potomac. I started the newest season, and then I was like, well, no, I want to go back, and so I'm conflicted with where to kind of start.
Yeah, see, Potomac was weird because it started and I liked the first season, and then I think I fell off in the second season, and I was kind of like, this might be too many housewives.
Right.
And then I can't remember if there was like some sort of news cycle or something that broke that I was like, okay, well now of course I have to watch it.
Right.
And I went back to watch it all, and then I was like, oh, Potomac is delivering.
Right.
So I love Potomac. I think they get it right, like week over week, season over season. It's also one of the longest running original casts.
Which is
I don't know if that's going to change after everything that happened this season. I think we're going to get some shakeups in the cast, but I mean, literally like all the OGs. Well, I think Robin, after she didn't reveal her husband's affair and didn't bring that to the camera,
reprimanded for that. Come on.
I think she'll at least be demoted to a friend of, and they'll have to get her. They're going to try to push, I think, these women to be like a little more transparent, because now they're sort of all trying to control the narrative after whatever 7-8 years. So,
right.
Yeah, it's like you have to, if you're going to be a housewife, you have to just like go all in and talk about it. So tell me about your thoughts on the style in Salt Lake City, because I know that you have thoughts about Salt Lake.
Listen, I was raised Mormon. My whole family lives in Utah. I was so excited about Salt Lake. I hate it.
You hate this, like,
I hate
the series.
I hate it.
Everything about it.
It's I don't like it. Well, there are some parts I like. I'm being dramatic. I'm being a little hyperbolic, but I just think it's a dud. I thought it felt so forced this season, so fabricated, so like the choir and you're out auditioning. Like, stop! Come on, guys, we're not that dumb.
So did we hate it from the beginning, or you just started hating it this season?
No, I think I started hating it this season. It was a chore to watch it. It was a chore to get through it.
Yeah.
Again, it's like, if you're not going to be transparent, what's your name? And you're going to put
Heather.
I'm innocent. No, well, Heather too.
Oh, well, and then Jen, yeah.
Listen, Heather got blackout drunk and fell on something and got a black eye and then made it a storyline. Like,
well, but you also know the behind the scenes tea on that is that the producers said that they knew that someone had done it, or they had like insinuated that we have footage of it. And so she thought that someone had done it to her. And so she thought, if I keep saying like, well, we all know, and they know, there's people that know that someone would tell her what happened.
Lies.
But
Lies.
yeah, you don't buy it.
I don't buy it for a second. I don't buy
I know.
it for a second.
And I really loved Heather when the show started. She was kind of like, I was a stan for her. She was like the bright spot of the first season. And she's having I'm having a change of heart.
She's having the real, What, isn't that like a thing that happens? The second season kind of backlash. I will say, I still think Lisa Barlow is a little sweet Diet Coke filled angel from heaven. I kind of think she's just divine.
I know. She always kind of was too. And for some reason I was like, in the first season, I was like a Heather, Meredith fan. Right. I like, those were kind of my girls coming out of that first season. And then I feel like it's gotten more like, it's completely twisting now, where now those people, I'm like, okay, they're not bringing it enough. They need to turn this around. Otherwise, like, get off my screen. But Lisa is like, well, she's the new queen of Salt Lake City. And
she's been consistent. I think I love the little kind of ditzy, whatever, but I think she's totally self-aware.
Yeah.
And just comfortable with who she is. She has a beautiful little family. She has a son named Jack. I have a son named Jack, so that's special. I think she has incredible style. I think she always looks really, really great. And yeah, you just kind of, what you see is what you get with, like, I can't with Meredith's Facetune anymore. Oh. I can't do it.
Why a lot of the housewives are doing this. I don't understand.
We know you're not 22 years old.
Well, and like Ramona's doing it too. And like, there's a lot of these housewives that keep using this filter. And I'm like, but you realize that we're going to eventually see you on TV in HD. So like, we know what you're going to look like. And like, it doesn't look like you.
I try not to even use that many filters in my stories, because I would much rather someone come up to me and say, oh, you're prettier in person.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Because what a compliment that would be.
I also have heard, oh, you're thinner in person.
Oh, well, I mean, you're one of those people that literally like doesn't need to have anything on, and you like look like you just walked off of a runway.
Thanks.
I mean, it's true. I've known you a long time. I've seen you in a lot of different lights, including ones where, some smoky bar and over drinks for hours. Man. And I've seen you in a lot of different ways, and you're always bringing it.
Oh, what a time that was.
Pre kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pre 8 o'clock. Well, yeah, I think that, it's like the, Salt Lake City. I just wish, I feel like maybe we need to get your hands on them, because they need some style. Because like that one reunion where they were like all wearing feathers and stuff, and I was like, this is like so bad. And I was like, is this Salt Lake City fashion, or is this just like truly bad in general?
And I don't really know, because my family lives out there, but I don't know that scene. But and I appreciate Meredith being supportive of Brooks's fashion career. I mean, and just wearing whatever. It just cracks me up. Cracks me up. Like
it's a lot.
What are we doing?
Yeah, it's a lot. I think and that's where I think Potomac actually, I know people give Giselle a lot of crap for not bringing it because she's so beautiful, and then she kind of doesn't go there with the fashion. It's always a little too wacky, but I feel like Potomac in general, I feel has a ton of fashion. Obviously the Beverly Hills women, I think, always look pretty well put together. Rinna was really trying some fashion this last couple of weeks. I don't know if you've seen some of her fashion week looks. What, I don't know what that hair was, but
listen,
it was a lot.
She wants to be in a really high fashion space. She has a daughter who is a high fashion model, and I think leaving the show, she's probably having a bit of an identity crisis. Like, okay, what circle do I exist in now? And so I respect her really trying to go for it and do something really avant-garde. There's something about, I don't know, maybe there's something about the lips and the thinness and it's hard for that to look cool. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you're that,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't know if that's, I think if you have done enough to your face and body, like you kind of sometimes can't pull off the cool.
Yeah.
That's judgy, but
no, but I mean, it's true. And I think, and it's interesting because there was like, I don't know how many seasons back it was, but at one of the reunions, Brandy's like clap back to her was about how she's like had the same hairstyle for, 15 years or whatever. And then all of a sudden I feel like she just started like going in on like changing her hairstyle. Like that really is clearly one of her insecurities now, but like,
absolutely. Like
I'd rather just see her in her old hairstyle because she's doing something that does not fit her face. It doesn't fit her body well. It's like either, I mean, she's also like, I'm not ageist, but she's like an older woman, and like this look, some of these looks that she's trying to pull off, like maybe work if you're Florence Pugh, but like not if you're Lisa Rinna.
But also like, worked on, rest in peace, Vivienne Westwood. Mm-hmm. Like there are older women that can absolutely pull off these looks. True. It's just, I don't know.
Not her.
Yeah. I think it just comes down to like, I don't know. She's just, you're not a weird, edgy, high fashion person. You don't have to be. We don't need that from you. Like be yourself, yeah. It's just like trying on too many different hats or wigs, so to speak. Like, just be yourself, man.
Yeah.
And I think I think that was her whole struggle the entire time she was on the show. It's like, was she the nice one? Was she the gossipy one? Was she the, shit starter? She like could never really figure out
who she was.
Are you a friend? Are you a foe? I just never knew. I think she's really kind of had a bit of like a midlife crisis.
Yeah.
And like, empty nester, like, okay, well, who am I now? And I think she let us know with that hairstyle that she's not sure who she is right now.
Yeah. Or the many rotating hairstyles. And yeah, I've just seen some looks and I'm like, I think she's grasping for relevance now that she's not on the show, but it's like in all the wrong ways. And it's like, you're an actress. So like, go land a role, go do something. You're not this like person that's going to be high society fashion woman. And I think she is desperate for that.
But it's weird because she's got enough of a name that she will get in the door. And there are enough people that will be like, oh, yes.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, that's as you have experienced on kind of both sides. I mean, that's like the celebrity of it all is like people will tell you whatever you want to hear. And unfortunately, some people aren't like secure enough with themselves that they sort of lean on something where someone tells them they're great, they look great a certain way. That person leans in on that style. And then it's like, well, that wasn't a great friend because they didn't really lead you in the right direction.
That may not have been true. Yeah. That wasn't true.
I was surprised when I brought up like your kind of like all time in terms of like best style. I thought you were going to bring up Garcelle.
So I love Garcelle deeply.
Like I know one of your like queens.
Yeah, no. Upset. But do I think she has the most interesting style? Not necessarily.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
No, that's fair. I think Garcelle sometimes runs the Giselle risk. Like
I agree.
She's this like beautiful woman who is like so powerful and just, I love seeing her on screen because she plays such a good character on that show. Like I feel like she's being authentic, she's being real, but she also like knows how to play that role really well.
When to push things and
totally. And, so I live for her in that way, but I guess you're right. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, that look could have been different.
But like personality wise, newest, favorite addition, I think she has been an incredible addition.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see, I actually am like very excited to see Beverly Hills post Rinna, because I think that
Yeah.
there was so much like that she was kind of manipulating and doing. And so I'm excited to see, even Erica Jane, who I've kind of turned on over the last few years, but like excited to see her in a world where Rinna's not backing her up and pulling her out of a room when she's getting too drunk and saying something
and
damaging.
saying too much. But I also wonder if somebody is going to, fall sadly into the role of Rinna. Like, I hope we don't see someone mighty fall, unless it's like Kyle. I don't care.
Yeah, well, that was one where I was like, I feel like Kyle, I don't know if Kyle has like a lot of allies anymore, because she's like kind of damaged this relationship with a lot of people in the face of like, she's been kind of sitting on both sides of the fence, and even with her sister. And it's like, that's your sister, so like defend her against Rinna. And she like wouldn't do that. And then now Rinna's gone. And it's like, so now who does Kyle have outside of Dorit, who's kind of like her,
yeah, but even Dorit, I think, has enough of a brain to know when to kind of, she's a good friend and she'll just go, and then she knows when to go,
Yeah.
I don't know. Dorit,
I would love to see Dorit back in her, like when she first joined the show and she had her famous, like, if I can smell your breath, you're too close line for Rinna. I'm like, I would love that Dorit back. I feel like she's fallen, and I know she had the break-in and all the things, but I would love to see her a little more fiery.
I think we will. I think Dorit has really grown on me. I like her so much more than I used to. I just really like her now. I hope that, I don't know. Yeah, I hope she doesn't just, I don't think she will stay like Kyle's lapdog or anything. I really don't. I think,
I mean, I think she knows. There was a lot of rumors that she was being offered a friend of role this season because she wasn't bringing a lot. And so I think she's going to do a Luann, and she's going to like really fight to keep that diamond in hand and bring some storyline. So, I mean, we'll see. She's one that I'm curious on your fashion, because she's such a label queen. Like everything has to be labels.
And
Thoughts on that?
I kind of hate like the capital F fashion, like that. Yeah. I kind of hate it. I hate labels. I hate, using what you're wearing to like make other people feel less than. So the label stuff I kind of hate. I appreciate her commitment to the full look though. I think she does a really great job with incorporating hair, makeup, accessories. Like I love, she's a top to bottom fashion girl, which I really like. But yeah, do I need another head to toe like Louis Vuitton? Like,
yeah,
who cares,
Yeah. You're right. I think if she had done it and it wasn't so focused on who it was or the designer brand,
because when she does vintage, she'll do
great.
vintage and it looks incredible and it looks so fresh. So I like when she does that, and like even when she's really literal about like a super 90s like supermodel Versace look, like that's fun, But yeah, just the label, and I don't care. But that's just me.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I think, I agree with you on that. I feel like, so this is great. We're kind of getting to the end here, but I feel like we are agreeing on more fashion things than I thought. I felt like we were going to be like on opposite sides of this like the whole time, but I feel like
are. You know what?
We're more aligned.
You can't argue with the truth, and we both just know the truth.
We know the truth. That's a perfect way of putting it.
I just want you to know we've put her to sleep.
Housewives does the same thing to my husband Joe, so puts him right to sleep. He's like, oh, do we have to talk about that again?
Although, let me segue real quick. So Trent, my lovely partner, loves Vanderpump.
Oh,
it's the only one he'll watch with me.
Well, right now it's giving a lot.
Oh yeah, now with this whole like that I can like give him updated, info. He's like, yeah, what's gonna happen next week? Oh my gosh, if we would have known, I'm like, yes. Finally.
I know. Are you liking watching it now, knowing what you know, or do you feel like
I'm tortured?
Yeah, I think I'm feeling the same. Like I am hoping that they're working on sort of recutting and making the story feel a little bit more real, because this whole like Schwartz thing and this whole like, I mean, there's so much of it that just doesn't feel authentic anymore. So you're like, well, I don't know if I really want to see more of that. I just want to get to the day where Ariana sees the video and I want to see what happens from there.
But we're not going to see that until next season, right?
Oh no, they're cutting it into this season. Yeah, they picked up cameras immediately, and they've
Best
already
news I've ever
filmed
heard.
with everyone. Kristen Doty is back because she's good friends with Ariana. She was there the night that they discovered all of this. So there's a lot that's going to happen, and that's where I'm just like, okay, let's get to those episodes now
Let's get to
because I'd rather see
Well, I
that.
even wonder with the preview of this week's episode, you know, where Rachel, we're going to call her Rachel now,
I know.
where Rachel's like, well, good thing you don't have a man around for me to, I'm like, oh, are we
Yeah.
starting to see the real?
Well, and that's where I'm like, are the editors now cutting these things in?
That's what I'm wondering.
Because in the last episode, there was like these little glimpses of that where we got like that girl, Christina Kelly, was like, you know, that's an insult to babies. James's mother made the comment about like, you know, that Rachel's parents drove her to SUR to meet the DJ to get on the show. And so we're like starting to like get these little comments, and I'm like, I wonder if these were in there anyways, or if they're like, okay, we've got to make her the villain because she ends up being a villain. She
was such an innocent Bambi-eyed bitch. I don't know. Yeah. So it's like, which came first? Like,
yeah.
You know, did she start behaving in a way that everybody started saying, whoa, 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 whoa? Or, or now are we seeing it in hindsight and catching the little, anyway. Yeah. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of heartbreaking.
I mean, it's horrible. I mean, I am so team Ariana. I mean, as I feel everyone is.
I mean, who isn't?
And she's such a cool girl that I just like feel for her. I'm like, I just need to bring her out for drinks and, you know, get her a French dip and some drinks at Three Crow. And
I can't eat those French dips no more. Okay, but hot take: are Sandoval and Raquel a better match?
Well, they're both narcissists, so yes,
and kind of dum-dums.
Yeah. Okay. Although I wonder if at some point their narcissism is going to sort of implode itself, because
I don't know how that works. Do two narcissists work together? Probably not, right?
I mean, I'm guessing maybe not at some point, because like if you're constantly only focused on yourself and you want all the attention, you don't have anyone that's giving you that attention. So
I mean, I am with a Gemini, and that's enough of us. Two Geminis parenting together. Whew.
Love it.
That's basically two narcissists.
So, well, it works for you, so maybe it'll work for them. Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah. I'm so kind of like exhausted by the whole scandal, but I also need more at the same time.
I know.
So Bravo, it's so funny because when I started doing this podcast, it was like, it's going to be pop culture and entertainment. And then all of a sudden it was like CNN and all the news outlets talk about Bravo now. And it's like, well, I guess this is like a Bravo thing. So I feel like I constantly am talking about it. So it's nice to have like, you know, the Oscars and things that sort of break it up, because it's like, gosh, if I have to talk about Rachel/Raquel anymore, I might lose my mind.
I'm really getting sick of looking at her face, but
same.
I'll keep looking at it.
I know, me too. Well, awesome. Well, I know you're technically still on your maternity leave, because as we've seen, you've got your little baby and you've got two adorable kids, but tell us where we can find you when you get like going again and you start sending out your pieces, because they're amazing. And speaking of fashion, I always wanted you to do a men's line, and you know that because I've told you that before many times, and because you have your pulse, you have your finger on the pulse. And that's why it's been so lovely to hear you talk about it and like seeing it out there. Cause you know, you've styled a lot of like the men in the entertainment world. So you really get it. And I can't wait for you to do that. So I'm still just going to put that plug out there. But in the meantime, where can the ladies find your stuff?
Well, my website, I'm working on relaunching. So I started during COVID an online boutique of stuff that I found that I haven't necessarily made. Sometimes it's stuff that I find that I add a little to, or anyway, so I had those separate, but I'm working on relaunching everything all together, as if you're just walking into what will someday be my brick and mortar.
Yeah.
where it's some stuff I've designed, some stuff I found, some vintage stuff, everything mixed.
I love that.
But until that's up, I guess Instagram is the best place, is the place I live. And that's at Valentine's with an M, like it's Valentine.
Yes.
I live there. I've been really into Be Real. Do you do Be Real?
I haven't gotten into Be Real because
I really like it.
I'm trying to do the TikTok thing, which is, it's so
Yeah,
hard.
I
And
know
they
you
have
can
like
do
a
that.
similar thing where you like take the
Okay.
photo and it does both sides. And so it's like, I don't know if I can get on another one. I'm not hip anymore. I can't keep up with all these platforms.
I know I'm not on TikTok because I'm about to turn 42. But I am on Instagram.
Yes.
So that's really where I live and where I'll talk about when I'm relaunching, which will be soon.
Awesome.
With some like cool jumpers, just easy fit stuff. Honestly, I have to say that having 2 kids and, gaining 40 to 50 pounds and all that has made me a little bit more sensitive about sizing and stuff. So I'll have a lot more inclusive. That's so selfish. Not until I.
Well, it's like you understand the perspective now.
Well, yeah. My perspective's totally changed. My body totally changed. So yeah, it'll be much more inclusive sizing this time around, which I'm really excited about. Yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, yeah, definitely check her out at Valentine's because it's Valentine's and it will always be Valentine's here at The Gist. Amanda, I love you so much and I thank you for coming and chatting fashion with me. I hope that you'll come back many more times because we'll always talk about fashion and break it down and all the things that are happening on Bravo. We'll keep up. But thank you for joining. And then thank you all for listening. As always, you guys can follow me at CM Vetrano on most of the socials or visit listenitsvetrano.com for more pop culture news. And until then, we will chat with y'all soon. Have a great weekend. And thanks for listening to The Gist. Bye.